Hey, good morning. It's Chanel with Define Your Glow, and you are seeing me in my most raw form this morning. I literally just got out of bed about 20 minutes ago. I've been up long enough to make a cup of coffee and meditate, and I just had a really weird night with energy shifting messages that came through. I felt people feeling lost, and I felt people feeling really grounded and really driven. And normally when I do a tarot reading, I have a topic that I'm going to discuss. I have questions for my cards that are real specific. And today I wasn't even going to do a tarot reading. I was going to meditate and search myself for answers and reach out to my guides and just have a little quiet time with myself, which I do every morning. And it's always just a wonderful way to start the day. And I highly recommend it. Just with that, take 10-20 minutes out of your morning, even if you just need to wake up 20 minutes earlier and just sit with yourself in silence and ask yourself questions and talk to yourself and dig deep. A lot of, most of the time the answers that we need to know, they're already within us. We just have to hear it. Reach out to your guides, and if you don't know who they are, ask, and they will come to you when you are ready, and the messages will come to you when you're ready to receive them. You just have to be open to listening, and you have to be open to the universe. And so this morning I just felt really open, but the weird thing was messages came to me that weren't for me. So I've messaged a couple people, the messages that came to me, and they resonated, which was great. And then I still felt like there was something out there that needed to be said. So I went to my tarot cards and felt very drawn I'm just going to draw one card today, and I'm going to sit on it for a little bit because something really weird happened to me last night that I wanted to share with you guys. And whenever I've seen my spirit animal, it's at night, in the middle of the night, and it's always laying on my bed. Like one time I saw a tiger, another time I saw an owl. I've seen cardinals come into my life. And last night when I got up to get a drink of water, when I came back to bed, there was a deer laying on my bed. And I was like, oh, cool, a spirit animal. Oh, nice, okay. And as I approached it, it was dead. And it was laying there dead. There was no life in it at all whatsoever. And it kind of made me sad for a minute, because I was like, who would see a spirit animal dead? What's going on? What does that mean? And then I really started to think about it this morning when I got up. And I think that just means the chapter in my life with the spirit of the deer is done. I don't think it necessarily has anything to do with death. It just means that chapter has been lived, and I'm moving on to another chapter. And that makes sense to me, because I feel like that's going on with a lot of people. Energy is shifting, chapters are closing, new chapters are beginning. But I feel like a lot of people with this new chapter, they don't know what to do. They're kind of lost. They're focusing on the wrong things, or they aren't focusing at all. They're kind of scattered. The universe just feels very ADHD right now. And a lot of the readings I've been doing have felt very scattered and are taking more time, because I'm needing to do more cards for the person to get the message, which is fine. It's just how the universe is rolling right now. But I feel like we all need to learn. But I do feel like we're all just so disconnected lately. Everybody's on their phone. Everybody's racing around social media and targeting different things that don't serve them. And they're pouring energy into things that don't serve them. And if something's not serving you, if it's not raising you up into something better, or if it's not fulfilling a goal or a dream of yours, it's not something you need to be putting your time into. And I just feel like time is being put into the wrong places by people. And I was thinking about it more this morning, and I'm just as guilty of it too. And so I started thinking about it, and I'm like, I'm just going to draw a card and do a general reading with no subject. I'm just going to draw one card, and whatever message is in that card is what the universe wants people to hear. I don't have, there's no career topic. There's not a love topic. There's sometimes I'll do topics on people, like what to do, with conflict in the family, or, okay, you love this person, should you pursue a relationship with them? This reading today is completely open. And that's why I'm only going to do one card, because I want the message to come from that card to be very strong and have a lot of meaning and have a lot of depth to it, to really guide you and help you out with your next chapter in your life. So this morning when I meditated, I got out my tree agate to ground. I reached out to my angel light to connect me to my guides and calm, because I felt there's a lot of tension in the universe today. So I wanted to kind of calm it down and neutralize it, so that those who watch this and those who feel drawn to the message can calm themselves to hear it. So I brought that out, and then I brought out an aquamarine. And this stone I just think is so pretty. Look at this, how clear it is. It's just so neat and so pretty with the color that runs through it. And it always brightens up when I use it. And I love using it too with my tarot readings, because I notice it gets very bright and almost like glows. And when it does that, the message that comes through is really beautiful and really strong. And then next to me, I have one of my spirit bowls. And this is one I put together for me. This is what I use when I meditate. It has ametrine, which is a natural crystal made of, it's actual amethyst and citrine together. And then there's a citrine, and then of course an amethyst, which is a beautiful crystal to help you connect. It helps calm the mind and open up that third eye for messages. There's an opalite, and this aqua aura quartz is beautiful. I love this thing. So I have that as well, and it's sitting on crushed amethyst, if you can see that. So I just hold this right here. I put the opening on my chest, and I just take nice deep breaths, and I just basically inhale the energy of these crystals, and it helps me connect, and it helps me get my message through to whatever comes to me. So I'm going to shuffle my cards, and I'm going to do a reading. And feel free to use this as like your cup of coffee. While I do this, feel free to step away and go get a cup of coffee for the morning, a cup of tea, whatever you drink first thing in the morning. And just be open to receive the message today. I ask that you just sit in silence, calm your mind. Don't worry about what you have to do today. Don't think about what you have to buy at the grocery store, or emails that are coming to you at work. I feel like work's just crazy for people lately and very overwhelming. So just calm your mind. If it's not serving you now in your space, don't think about it. And just relax. Take a couple deep breaths. Just really clear your mind and be open to whatever message comes to you. And if this message doesn't connect, that's okay. Continue to stay in your meditative, relaxed state. And just listen. The universe always has direction. Your guides are always guiding you. You just have to be open to receive and to follow. And you have to be daring, because a lot of times you're going to be guided towards places that scare you. And that's the whole point. You're supposed to be chasing fear, because if you're comfortable and you're living a sedentary life, that may not always be your purpose, especially if you're not happy. If you're not happy, then you're definitely not living your purpose. We're all here. We all have a reason. And every day that reason can change based on our energy and our decisions and how we live and how we act and, behave around others, really. So just take a nice deep breath. I'm just going to do one more shuffle. And I'm using my Dreams of Gaia tarot cards. And as you can see, the cards are just beautiful cards. And the messages that come from them always have a lot of words and a lot of wisdom. That's one of my favorite cards. There's a really good message with that one, and this one too. They're just really good messages. And the reason I'm choosing the Dreams of Gaia cards is because I want people to be more grounded and more connected. Because when you're grounded and you're more connected, it's easier for you to receive the message. It's easier for you to find guidance. It's just kind of easier for you to live. Just stay grounded and focused. So ground yourself with Mother Earth. And I always talk about, like, walk around barefoot. Listen to your guides. If you can't find them, ask for them. And just get grounded, get connected. Use a tree agate, or tiger's eye is always a good one too. and just get to know yourself and get grounded. But this is what the book looks like. I always like to refer back to the book for reference. But that's the Dreams of Gaia. These are the tarot cards I'm doing today. So if you haven't already, take a couple minutes, like pause this video and go ground yourself and connect yourself to the earth. All right, I'm gonna go with this card. So I'm gonna pick a card, and this is the card I've picked. It's the Self card. It's a beautiful card, and actually, if you look at it, let me move my cards. If you look at this card, so much can come from this card. Look at all the messages that are in here. You have dragons on each side, but they're wrapping around her waist and down by the root chakra and the sacral chakra. And if you know anything about Kundalini Reiki coils up in the root chakra, just like a little coil. And depending on the culture and depending on, where you're at, as far as Chinese and India, they call it it can be a snake, and it coils up. In some countries, they call it a dragon, and it's a dragon that coils up and it uncoils and it goes up through your chakras, like the 7 primary, even though we have hundreds of chakras through our body. This definitely resonates with Kundalini Reiki because there's the energy in her hands, sending out energy to the world, but also receiving. And you have the energy of the Kundalini Reiki coming out in the form of a dragon and running up. Her heart chakra, let me just make sure. Yeah, I wanted to make sure it wasn't a necklace, but that heart chakra is very bright and glowing. So her hands have energy leaving them. So she's probably sending love out into the universe. And then you have the doves up here, which always connect with love. There's so many things going on in this card. Of course, the roses, which always mean love. But you have the energy of Kundalini Reiki running up through her, which is really cool to see that in a tarot card. And then her hands being open to send and receive. She's sitting in her grounding state. So this is about grounding. And the card being self, I feel like that she's connecting to herself. And I feel like with this card, the message being sent is to connect to yourself. And this is where tarot cards just amaze me. I wanted to just make a general message, what to send out to people, and I drew the Self card. That's pretty amazing. The universe is so connected right now. So there's the Self card, and she's connecting to herself. She's surrounding herself with love, but I also feel like these could symbolize angels as well, spirit animals, and they're flying up over her because her crown chakra is probably open to receiving the messages, and it's probably meaning with the Kundalini, it's opening up, and so it's sending the love and the message of the guides. So this card is a beautiful card. So I'm going to sit this right here, and I'm going to flip over the book and just double check what I'm pulling out of this and kind of read it. But yeah, it's Self card. And the key words to this card is it's self-manifestation, and it's peace and acceptance. And the acceptance part of this is acceptance to yourself. So when you have this card drawn, it just means it's time to accept yourself. And with that means don't try and fit in. Because if you have to try to fit in, then you're not being yourself. When you're really truly fitting in, you don't have to try. You can just be yourself. And the card says that this is for reasons of being, and it signifies the importance of establishing your individuality. So this is a beautiful message, and this goes right along with what I was feeling this morning with people and their direction. I feel like people are trying to fit in, and they're kind of losing a sense of their self, and they're losing their connection with their inner self because they're too busy trying to fill other people's voids with what those people want, not what they need. But they're also robbing themselves of their own identity because they're trying to fit in and trying to become something that they're not supposed to be, but they want to please others. This card's telling you not to do that. This card is telling you to be yourself and you'll please those that you're supposed to please by being yourself and being true to your identity and being true to yourself. And this card is just so beautiful. I mean, what a fantastic message to just be like, don't be fake. Be yourself and everything will be fine. Don't be afraid of who you are, and don't be afraid of what comes to you as you manifest your life into something more beautiful or something more abundant than what you were expecting, or even what you think you deserve. Some people really truly set themselves low because they can't see themselves any higher. And that just is you saying you don't deserve that, so you're going to settle for this. Never, never, never settle. I'm actually going to change this song. Excuse me one sec. I'm going to just shift this so I can change the music. But this card is just, it's really cool. I'm going to read right from the book on this one. There are elements within every society that do all they can to squash the independent and the creative and authentic, because they profit in one way or another from doing so. And how true is that? You know, so often we get in jobs in corporate America, or in, you know, different jobs where we're set to, we have to be this and do that and act this way and act that way because that's what the person above you wants from you. And it removes your self-identity, and you eventually mold into that person that they wanted you to be, and then you no longer recognize yourself. And that's where the confusion comes in, and that's where the sense of loss comes in, because you've now become something that isn't you. But before that, you recognized yourself. You may not have had like a strong connection, like you knew who you were, but when you are building and growing and you're succeeding, if you have to change yourself for someone else while in that process, you're not going to grow and build and receive what you're supposed to. You're going to build and grow and receive what they want you to receive. You've just cut yourself short. Always stay focused on you, and always stay focused on what you want. And then you will receive what you're supposed to. You'll receive what you deserve, because you will get back what you put out to the universe. Every time you want something, you got to put it out there, and you got to put out bravery. You got to step out in courage, and you have to be acceptant of yourself, and you have to love yourself, and have to have confidence in yourself, and be connected to yourself, so you know what you want at all times. And then when someone says, well, you need to become this, you're able to say, no, I don't need to become that. I can still be who I am and be successful. And I see that a lot in corporate America, where people just kind of get changed into, you know, you see that best friend of yours from college that was the fun, outgoing person, great sense of humor. They get that great job in corporate America with the benefits, the salary, and next thing you know, over time, they're not as fun. Their sense of humor kind of goes away. They get more serious, and you start to not recognize them as a person, or you're like, wow, what happened to them, man? They're not who they were. They used to be so fun and outgoing, and now they're all uptight. You know what I mean? We've all seen it. We've seen our friends and family members just change over time due to a circumstance or a job, or even someone they have a relationship with that can change them, because they're wanting to please that person more than they want to make themselves happy. So to make that person happy, they become what that person wants them to become, and then they've just lost their sense of self. And eventually they feel lost, and they feel disconnected, and they don't know why, because so much time has passed. So this card wants you to avoid that, and this card wants you to be yourself. It's a self card. Be yourself. Here's a good message here. We are controlled by the media, religious organizations, and educational institutions, and taught how to behave, how to think, what to believe, and what to feel. We are told what is normal and what is not, and what we must strive to be normal. Normal is acceptable, but what is normal? I can't even begin to, that is so true. That kind of goes right back to my comment on corporate America, how people change you into becoming their version of normal. When I hear what is normal, I like to always say normal is what someone else wants another person to become to please them, because they have their own status of normal. We all have our own definition of normal, right? I'm going to use myself as an example. my kids go to a school in a small town, and it's not so much this way anymore, but it used to be kind of conservative. And the moms wore the sweatshirts and the jeans with the shoes, and everybody went to church, and it is what it is. And it's a great little community. It's a little village, and they're still going to school there. My one son's graduated, but they went to school there. They graduated from high school. I have tattoos. I am an energy healer. I didn't quite fit in, and for so many years they tried to make me like them, and I just naturally resisted because I didn't feel like that was normal. They didn't feel like I was normal, and there was just always that conflict of cultures, really, because I'm very spiritual and I'm very connected, and they had their religion, which is their preference, but that religion molds them into a community of the people that go to that specific church. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm losing my thought here, but religion's a funny thing because they always talk about being open and accepting and self-love. But most religions, and I don't mean any disrespect to any religion out there, but most religions, they will accept you when you accept that religion. Otherwise, if you're not a part of that religion, it's not acceptable, because they have such a strong faith in what they believe in that religion that they can't accept someone else outside of it. I get all the time that people think I don't believe in God, and that always makes me laugh, because I'm like, I believe in every single God that's out there. How could I believe in one God and not believe in another God? When you really truly understand the meaning and the purpose of a God, you can't deny another person's God. They all have the same, not belief, but like every religion is about being a better person and loving and spreading that meaning of that religion to others so they can feel the love and the connection of that religion. So when people ask me like, well, don't you believe in God? Have you accepted Christ as your savior? And well, yes, I believe in every God. And when I do Reiki on somebody that doesn't believe in like my God or doesn't believe in spirituality, I encourage them to call on their God while I'm working on them, because I will work with that energy that comes from that God as they call on him. I will use that energy to cleanse and heal and balance their chakras. I want them to call on their God. I would never tell somebody, oh, well, I know you're Christian and everything, but I'm going to call on Archangel Michael today. So, and Archangel Gabriel for healing. I'm going to say, you call on your God, and I'll take it from here, and we're going to use your energy and whatever energy comes to you from calling on your God, and we're going to cleanse, heal, and balance. So don't let religion, don't let a job, don't let a career, don't let friends, don't let family, don't let anything around you rob you of yourself and rob you of your identity. It's yours. It's what makes you. So this is a really good, really strong message right here. I'm going to read it again. We are controlled via the media, religious organizations, and educational institutions, and taught how to behave, how to think, what to believe and feel. We are told what is normal and what is not, and that we must strive to be normal. Normal is acceptable. What is normal? So with that, I'm thinking there's message coming. Self-care. I'm hearing self-care. The universe is wanting you to be yourself. The universe is wanting you to not worry what is normal, because what's not normal is not being yourself. What's not normal is changing to please others and denying your true self and denying yourself as your being. You are a being. You are made whole by how you love yourself and how you handle yourself and the decisions you make that identify who you are so other people can understand you. So if you're making yourself something you're not supposed to be, and you're hiding your true meaning and your true self from others, you aren't serving your purpose, because you're basically, you've changed your purpose to just making other people happy through being what they want you to be, and it's empty. There's nothing there. You need to be yourself, and you need to be true to yourself, and that all starts with self-love, and that starts with knowing who you are, knowing what your dreams, what your goals are, and staying focused on them and not changing them to please others. You know, you have friends, we all do. Why would you do that? Are you crazy? That sounds nuts. That's when you're like, you really should be like, game on. Yeah, it is nuts. That's why I'm doing it. And there's things out there and there's ambitions out there. Maybe some of them are empty. Maybe some of them are something we shouldn't be going for. But if we feel like we should be, we need to, because that's a learning process for us. Everything we do, we're going to learn from it. And we're going to move forward whether we want to or not. The only way we're not going to move forward is if we don't move. But the energy will keep going. Energy doesn't stop. It moves. So you can either ride with it and move with the energy and continue by being yourself and continue flowing with the energy as it literally flows you right down the path that you're supposed to go, and you just keep going. Or you can resist it and you can change yourself and you can focus on pleasing others and you can focus on, you know, building yourself around what people want you to be, not what you want to be. And then you have what you have at the end of all that. But don't lose sight of yourself, and don't lose sight of what you want to be and what comes to you. So with that, the card today that was drawn was the Self card. The message with this is be yourself and don't let others shape you into something you're not. And find truth in what you're doing. Dig deep. And with this card, I'm just going to add with the Kundalini energy, let it flow through you and let your energy flow. If you want to set up a Kundalini Reiki energy reading with me, message me. I will get this energy flowing through you and it'll help you connect. It is an earth energy. Reiki energy is from the earth, and it'll help you ground, it'll help you connect, and it'll help you understand more about yourself, and it'll help you understand more about your purpose. We'll get those hands nice and open for you and activated so you can send and receive energy. We'll get your crown chakra nice and clear so you have more clarity in what you're doing, and we'll just go through it step by step. But anyway, thank you so much for listening today, and I appreciate your patience and I appreciate your time in listening to my reading. And take this into the weekend and take it into the next week. And then if you have any questions, you're always welcome to visit my Facebook page. It's called Define Your Glow. And I'm going to go finish my cup of coffee and start my day. And I wish you all very well, and you guys have a great weekend. And I thank you again for listening. It means so much. So you guys have a great day.